quite exciting, that intro music, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we've set them up for an exciting evening, and it's just the music that's exciting. The rest is downhill now.
It's better if I unmute you, isn't it?
You fucker. That was the funniest I'd been all day, and they didn't hear it.
Well,
you just can't stand me being funny.
It's your lack of organisational skills, I think, is the problem.
I'm here. I'm organised.
Because as soon as I press the go live button, your mic hadn't moved yet. And then you move it literally just as it goes ba-ba-bum, ba-bum, 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 like that.
No, it was moved way before that because I moved my juice.
No proof. No proof. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us. It's actually been quite a nice Wednesday on the whole, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Yeah, on this fine Wednesday evening. If you haven't already, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we go live. I've had a half day, so I've been on Warzone all day, Liam. I played a little bit this morning for a couple of hours. It was a bit of a de-stress because I'm about to move into a very busy 4 days. I'm not allowed to leave the house on Wednesdays. I'm housebound as I have to be available for the children. Because apparently you can't just leave them feral in the garden for a day.
No, you're not allowed.
Naked with a water bowl. So I have to be home for that. And I've just been working out what I need to do. And I'm like, oh, I've got a lot to do for the weekend for you fucking thanes.
I have to write stuff down. When I have a milestone day like this coming up, I have to write it down because I find myself getting quite overwhelmed by it. But if I see it, even if the list is really long, when I see it written down, it feels much more manageable.
Yeah, I might write it down on my things to do pad.
Yeah, it does help writing a list.
The biggest issue is I've got to take 18 black chairs, fold-out chairs to the studio, and I'm unsure, looking at those boxes, as to whether all 3 boxes will fit in the car at once. I think they will, but I don't know. And then I've also got to go down to my folks tomorrow and help them install their new internet, because if I let them touch it, their house will burn down. And then I have to also get to Costco to buy things for the tuck shop for the weekend, if you things want a tuck shop again. That saves me a journey. Do you want a tuck shop? Because if you don't, it saves me a journey. And then I have to actually start building the studio, whilst also maintaining our normal stream schedule over the course of the next 2 days as well. There's a lot to do. And then I have my barber's appointment at 10 o'clock on Friday, because I have to look boofatall for the weekend. Yeah. It's important. Yeah. So lots to do. Lots to do. Hey everyone, I hope you're well. I hope you are having a wonderful week, even though it's a hump day right now. Happy hump day. It's the second to last Wednesday in April. In fact, this time next week we won't be streaming. It's our anniversary next Wednesday, Liz.
Oh yeah.
That confused face.
What are we doing for that?
Oh, I've got to plan it, have I?
I don't know. Whose turn is it?
I don't think we take it in turns.
I thought we did.
Oh, well, last time I took you to Monty's in Bewley.
So it's my turn.
I feel like this is a trap.
Just strap in, because I have no idea what we're doing.
Wait, you said strap in, right? Anyway. Yeah, so happy hump day, you wonderful human beings. I was thinking about what to do today. There was an update that happened to the Demons Index that I do want to talk about, but I actually want to talk about that in Joe's company, because I feel like Joe's going to have a lot of opinions on that one, and he might get a bit sweary. So we're going to save that particular topic for tomorrow lunchtime. However, I was sat here thinking, what can we talk about? And it got me thinking about last night's game. In fact, what got me thinking about last night's game was I played a little bit of Warzone for literally like an hour or so this morning with Joe and Paddy, as Paddy's getting used to how the fuck it works before he comes on VAG, because you lot paid for it. You lot paid for him to come on VAG, so that's going to happen at some point in the next week or so. And Paddy said to Joe, has Liam told you about my game last night with Brom? And I said, and actually just at that point, Paddy was off finding his headset, and Joe's like, yeah, he's just been telling me. Because I love Brom, by the way. I want to throw this out there right now. One of my favourite humans in the world. One of our favourite humans in the world, right? Because it's Brom. However, his ability to play 40k is questionable at best. When he played with a faction last night where he had a total of 4 data sheets, it's difficult to actually have less. It's possible, but it's quite difficult. He could have, in fact, got rid of 1 big knight, had 2 more Helvers, and had 3 data sheets. And somehow, even then, he can't remember all of his rules. And he does this thing, and he's not the only one, right? We've all done this once. Every single person has done this once, sometimes in 40k, sometimes in other things in life. Not reading a thing fully. Skim reading it and going, oh, that's really shit. And then going, have you read it properly? Or not reading it till the end and going, I'm outraged. Finish the sentence. Or whatever. Like, you must have done it for things in the past. We've all done it. So he read a stratagem, and there's a bit. Stratagems have 4 sections, Luce, just so you know, and that is when, who, what, and restrictions essentially. And what he doesn't ever do is read the restrictions part, which is quite important because they're restrictions.
Maybe they should be at the front, because then he'd read it.
He doesn't read those parts. Under the restrictions, but didn't read them.
The perfect game is any game where you're still friends at the end of it and are looking forward to the next game.
I don't disagree with you, Chad, to be fair. Thanks for the $5 from White Legend. However, he played a stratagem that he's only supposed to play once, about 3 times. And the first time that he played it, he wasn't even able to play it because the requirements he needed to be able to play that stratagem weren't even correct, right? But here's the thing: the amount of times people in chat like, Brom can only play that stratagem once. I was like, Brom, how many times have you played that stratagem? He's like, why? I was like, can you read it? And he read it. He went, when in your blah blah blah, who blah blah blah. I was like, right. He went, yeah, it doesn't sound like I can only do it once. I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. I was like, because chat, I'm really sure you can only do it once. Have you read the whole thing? Have you read the restrictions section? And he went,
no.
Oh. I was like, so they were right and you were wrong. Like, normally I'm like, chat's probably wrong, but when it comes to Brom, I like to quiz him quite hard on it, and eventually it worked. Anyway, long story short, it was a fun game. It was lots of laughs and giggles, lots of banter. We really enjoyed ourselves. Brom really enjoyed himself. Paddy really enjoyed themselves. Great, cool, that's fine. However, in terms of getting rules correct, it was a bit of a clusterfuck, and that got me thinking. Brom and Paddy's game last night is an extreme example, right? Because it includes Brom. But there are a plethora of occasions where Joe and I, who out of everybody in the team plays the 40k the most, get a rule wrong of some sort. We get a rule wrong. We don't quite get it right. We miss an update. We miss a change. We miss something that's in an FAQ. We pick up a faction we haven't played for 3 months, and you do something not quite right. It happens loads. And we basically play 40k for a living, and we get a lot wrong. So the question is it actually possible to play the perfect game of Warhammer? What is the perfect game? Like, I liked what Chad said. That's quite a nice way of looking at what a perfect game is. Because I actually think it's close to impossible to get 100% rules correct. And, talking about perfect people, Matt O'Reilly just gifted 20 members, Liz.
Is this the same Matt that has ordered one of our lovely hoodies?
I don't know. I assume so. It doesn't tell me what currency he gifted memberships in, so maybe.
My hand is so cold. I can't even hold this pen.
Why is your hand so cold?
Because I'm cold.
Well, put a jumper on.
I might go and
Put
get
some
the
clothes
blanket. I have got clothes on. I might go and get the blanket from the lounge and just.
Do you want me to go get you the blanket now?
No, I'll go and get it. I hope for you, Matt, that if you are the Matt for the hoodie, that it arrives the same time you leave hospital, which would be going some because we had to order it today.
Yeah, and you want it to arrive just
after. But it's
after.
okay because the time difference in Australia.
But you want it to arrive just after he leaves hospital. Otherwise, he might not be in when it turns up.
That's true. That's a better hope. I hope for you, Matt, that there is a 30-minute crossover between you getting home and the hoodie getting to you.
Yeah. I reckon it could be possible to play the perfect game if nothing out of the ordinary comes up. I'm usually pretty good at getting rules right, as my TISM allows me to store the data in my head. Yeah, so do I, but I still fucking miss shit. I think it's because we play like 6-7 factions each, and there's a little part of the channel that stresses me where Joe and I specifically feel like almost obliged to try and learn most other factions as well at the same time. So like, and I definitely take it upon myself to try and know Brom's factions as well. So if I'm there, I can be like, are you sure that's how that works? And the answer is normally no. Anyway, thank you so much, Matt, for the 20 gifted. That is, funny old thing, out of 100. Maths. 20% of the way there?
I feel like you're ill, the fact you have to think about that. I
No,
think
it was a joke.
Oh, okay. Very believable. Well done.
Acting career, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Step aside, Hugh Grant. Perfect game for me is when the game swings back and forth and a pretty even game in the end. So you don't care about the rules too much, Robert, right? As long as you're mostly right. There's too much variety in Warhammer to have a perfect game, and that's a big part of what makes it great. I agree, Mordy Hammer, actually, to be fair. And there's that player that insists he's right and doesn't back down to you make them read their own rules. Like Brom, you mean? Wee man. Mordy Hammer, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. What a legend. That means we are 25% of the way there?
Yeah.
What's up with you?
My hand.
Do you want me to go get this blanket for you
No,
quickly?
I'll
run.
I'll get it. No. I'm going to get it.
I'll run for you.
Wait, so if we call it playing Warhammer for a living, does that mean you have to give the guys performance reviews? Should put Brom on a pip tongue.
No, because Brom's a volunteer. He's not an employee. Strictly, the only employee is Joe. So he will have annual reviews, but Brom doesn't because he's a volunteer. He gets away with it. Matt O'Reilly says, "Let's get the choo-choo moving, everyone. Are you ready for it?"
Okay. Choo-choo!
Thank you. That's all, streamers. You'll never learn every army impossible. I think it is close to impossible, wee man, to be fair. I think it is close to impossible. I try and learn as much as I can and try and be as up to date as possible. It's fucking hard work, though. It's hard work in general. It's even more difficult with the number of rules, abilities, overlaps, and updates that they do. Just Joe, he's a pip. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Is YouTube 20 years old?
I don't know why.
I have a birthday cake and the number 20 next to the YouTube logo.
Maybe then.
Oh wow. We're older than YouTube. I knew we were, but there's no hiding away from that.
It's our birthday, it says, if I hover over the button.
Wow, YouTube's 20.
That's
There are
probably younger than I thought.
There are entire drinking adults that have never known a life without YouTube.
That's probably younger than I think, though.
That's crazy.
25 years? No, because that means it was launched in 2000. It was definitely launched after 2000, wasn't it? 2005 makes sense. It means YouTube came out the same year I joined the army.
What did it look like when it first came out? What was the format?
Well, you couldn't put anything longer than like 30 seconds on, could you? Or something like that?
I have no idea.
It was like 5 minutes or whatever.
I don't really remember logging on to it when it was first out.
I don't remember. I don't know. It wasn't. You couldn't put long form on. You couldn't do this.
Looking forward to my tournament on the weekend. Will keep the Great Hall appraised on my results. Angry war harps in the distance. Revenant Titan marches to war.
Sounds incredible, Clive. I love a Revenant Titan. Which weapons have you gone for? And thank you for the first out of 10 of the yellow ones.
I can't remember who I was talking to in person, but they said Netflix was a video rental to sort of challenge Blockbuster. So Netflix is much older than the online format that it is now.
YouTube had no live. It didn't exist. Couldn't do live on YouTube. Couldn't stream. That wasn't a thing. And you couldn't put longer than, I think it was like 5 minutes on at once, or 10 minutes or something like that. You couldn't upload more than that. It couldn't handle it. So like mini wargaming, I remember interviewing Dave about this, and mini wargaming, when they first started with YouTube specifically, would have to do separate videos for each phase of the game.
Oh. Wow. Who was it I was talking to?
And if you join their vault, their mini wargaming vault, their on-demand service that they had back then, before you had things like YouTube memberships, each time a new episode was released, they'd send you a disc, a DVD.
I think Blockbuster's trying to make a comeback.
It shouldn't
or was
bother
that
because
an
it'll fail.
April Fool's?
Probably.
I don't know anymore. I'm questioning the whole world now.
Love Film was the one that tried to challenge Blockbuster, wasn't it? Where they deliver it to your house.
I do remember Love Film,
Yeah.
but I thought that was a coupon thing that was in partnership with cinemas. I didn't think that was a company on its own.
I remember watching videos online pre-2005. You'd have to download the file first and watch it on Windows Media Player.
Wow. This is going to really annoy me. I cannot remember who I was talking to. I was sat at a table, and I don't think it was in a house. I think it was in a place. My short-term memory is so fucking shit.
Kids used to receive movies and send them back via the post. Yeah, I know, yeah. Netflix did start as a mail rental service, says Lucky.
Yeah.
They also offered Blockbuster to buy them out in the early years, and Blockbuster laughed them out the door.
Ooh.
Mind you, haven't they had an issue recently with a monumental number of people unsubscribing from the platform? Because
Have they?
because the price is going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And the argument is that Netflix on the whole, the quality of content is going down. For like new shows and stuff.
I think it's just the cost of living is getting worse and people are starting to trim the fat now. So for us, we trimmed out Netflix because the stuff that we were watching, we were getting way more from other platforms. So that one went, Netflix went.
Well, so we were getting more from other platforms, and Netflix ranked smashed the price up again.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I don't think it's necessarily Netflix quality is getting worse. I think it's people are now looking at what they're willing to let go of because the cost of living.
Yeah.
So I think if we liken our sort of recreational time in circles like ripple effects, I think platforms like Disney, because we all watch Disney.
Watch the 20th birthday video.
I mean, I can't now. I could now, but the only way I can watch the 20th birthday video now is if we guarantee membership and Super Chat Gold, because it will demonetize the video, so it'll turn ad revenue off. So
So if we think of like recreational watching as a ripple effect, for me Netflix is way out there, whereas Disney is going to take a few more things like trimming of the fat to get to Disney for me to go, oh god,
yeah.
you're getting rid of Disney.
Kev says too many streaming services and they all have ads unless you pay premium prices. This is the weird thing though, isn't it? Because streaming services, when they started, one of the benefits of paying a streaming service was there was no ads.
Yeah.
So if you took out Netflix, you took out Amazon TV or whatever,
Yeah.
no ads. And then they were like, well, we'll show ads for our own shows. I'm kind of okay with that one. I'm not too fussy about putting something on a streaming service and goes new to Apple TV or new to Netflix. I'm like, okay, that's relevant and it's similar. And now what they've done is they've gone, here's for Netflix, it's like, here's the base package. If you pay the base package, you don't get full HD or 4K and you get ads. Well, so what the fuck am I paying for then?
Yeah. Actually, why didn't we all kick up a fuss when that happened?
And then here's the next level up where we'll remove ads for you. And here's the next level up where you'll get HD. And here's the next level up where you'll get 4K. Like, the fuck?
You didn't turn your lights on.
I didn't know. I've just noticed.
That's why the room's weird.
Hang on.
Oh, there we go. It's Wednesday.
Is that is that
There we
better?
go. That's better.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. The ad support services are just a mechanism to push people into higher tiers. Of course it is, yeah. But like, they don't really give a fuck about the ad revenue. They care about you going, I'll pay the extra £4 to not have ads.
But why didn't we all kick off when that happened?
Because we don't. Because we go, oh, it's £3 more, fuck it. Because what
Yeah.
happens? Netflix now has WWE. I don't care for that because I'm an adult.
He says, playing with plastic toys.
Exactly. I like my make-believe on the tabletop. Thank you. That's why I like my make-believe. Companies are for people who love using the taste of sweet, sweet love like honey fun. Yeah, I guess that's what love honey is, isn't it? It's if you want like 5 different flavours of honey.
Yeah?
Yeah, love honey.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. But yeah, I got rid of Netflix now, fuck it. I don't miss it either, actually, to be fair.
No, I haven't. I thought we'd get Ben saying, can I watch this? And, oh, God, there's another thing he watches. But actually, I think he mentioned it for one show. and that's it.
I watched some shows on it, but I think I watched them because I was like, I have it and I'm trying to find something to watch.
Yeah.
Rather than I really want to watch that show. So, like, because the thing is though, team, we have Disney because Disney's got a lot on it actually nowadays. We have Amazon because I have Amazon Prime. So like, I have that for Prime. I don't even have that for the TV. I have Amazon because Prime. We have Apple because I've got the Apple family plan, which gives all four of us, Apple Music and Apple TV. Which is actually, even if that was just Apple Music, I was fine with it. When I first took that, I was like, I don't care about the TV stuff. But actually, we use it quite a lot, don't we? So, saw something advertised for BBC the other day. So they're using my TV license money to pay for ads that I'm being asked to pay extra, so I don't have to watch it.
What?
The world is an advert.
We should definitely kick off about that.
The world is an advert. If I could get away with not paying my license fee, I absolutely would. I absolutely would. Yeah, so I think that's all we've got. I've got a Now TV subscription for Sky Sports football and stuff because it's significantly cheaper than paying for Sky because Sky is a fucking rip-off.
Yeah. Do you remember when Sky used to be Channel 6 only? Did you ever have cable? I know we've had this chat before, but I've forgotten. Did you ever have cable?
We had Virgin TiVo, which was a form of cable, didn't we? But
did you have the black box that had the digits and then like a little...
No, we were straight to Sky.
Oh.
But like, when it came out, it had like 25 channels. Like channel 19 was Cartoon Network, and channel 5 or channel 6 was Sky One, and
Oh, I thought 18 was Cartoon Network.
maybe it was 18 was Cartoon Network then. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I don't know anymore. My memory's shocking. Maybe you're right.
I don't.
Who
Maybe
knows?
it is 18 or 19. One of those was like Cartoon
Yeah.
Network, and like Sky, like number 6 was like Sky One or whatever.
But I never understood the joke that all the old folk would say, there's a million channels and there's nothing on telly. Then we got Sky, and then I realised what they all meant. Literally, I think it was like 900 channels or something, and you just be flicking through, there's nothing on, there's nothing on. How is that possible?
I weirdly miss Sky.
I miss it for the TV guide.
Yeah,
little format.
I miss Sky. I missed having it because I liked. We had Sky Q, so you had the boxes throughout the house. Do you remember?
No, I don't. The TV thing is you do that.
Sky Q, we had the little Sky Q box in the bedroom and the big Sky box down in the living room.
I do the food, you do the TV.
I do the tech.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. And I miss having Sky, and I miss being able to go, I'll just record that, and I miss all that. But it's just not worth the cost.
I don't think I miss the recording thing, because now you can still get hold of DVD players and start a DVD collection. So the recording thing for me, I don't think I've used it very much.
I miss Sky. But I also, we haven't had a living room really forever.
Yeah.
Because the children have commandeered it and planted their flag and said, this is our room now.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, I miss Sky. So because I used to work a Monday to Friday job and not do this every single night of the week. So what I could do is I could finish work, sit on my arse when the kids were up at bed, grab the Sky remote. I loved that. That's great. Banging. Happy with that. But now it's like, I'd have a fancy Sky box that we use on a Saturday evening only.
Yeah.
No point.
No.
Literally no point.
But then if we took off any like extra and we just had terrestrial telly, all that's really on it now is your soaps, which we don't watch, game shows, which we don't watch, Saturday morning cartoons. That's not on anymore.
Dave, I priced it up the other day. I was helping my parents out with something, and I priced it up the other day because I was like, would it be that bad for us to have it back? Because we're doing less going out and stuff because everything's getting expensive. So maybe we just add Sky. Maybe that could be how it works. And I priced it up the other day, right? And some of this is a me problem. Okay, some of this is a me problem. But I'm like, if I'm gonna have Sky, I might as well have movies and sports. Why wouldn't you? Literally, the best thing about Sky is movies and sports.
Yeah.
I also am a visual and audio snob, so I want it in 4K. It's an additional charge. There's an additional charge nowadays. In 2025, I don't feel like 4K should be an additional charge. It's fucking mad. And before you know it, you put the whole package together and you're like, it's like 90 quid a month.
It's mad.
And that doesn't include my fucking Amazon and my Apple TV and my Disney.
I get very interested in families that don't have TVs. I'm probably verging on fascinated with them because I bet their attention is better, their memories are better, they're probably far better at making their own fun actually decent. So board game night is probably incredible in their house, whereas I feel like if we were to do a board game night, we're just doing it to please each other and to prove, look, we can do it.
Yeah,
it's not actually time well spent.
No, I agree.
So I'm mildly fascinated with families that don't have
I think
TVs.
if you were like, let's do a board game night, I think I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, let's just get through it.
I'm having fun. Is it done yet? Do you get Netflix free with Sky? I don't think so. I don't know, to be fair, Eston. But that's the one we don't have. So, I don't know. Long story short, it got too expensive, and I was like, I priced it up and went, no, it's ridiculous. I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. But, you know, the funny thing is as well, nowadays, I mostly use YouTube and Apple TV. And if I can't find what I want on Apple TV, depending on the cost, I'll just go buy it. And I know it's on Apple TV forevermore.
Yeah.
And I'd just rather do that. You don't own it strictly because it's on Apple TV, but like at least I then know that if I have to cancel my subscriptions, well, the things I like to watch are on Apple TV.
So if we were to cancel our Apple subscription, we'd still keep the films we've bought?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you lose access to things like Slow Horses and The Morning Show and all that.
No.
You'd lose access to all that shit unless you paid for it. But everything you've already paid for, that stays on your TV box. It stays there because you bought it. But yeah.
Also, things like the Sunday night film used to be so much better. The stuff they'd put on BBC.
Do you think we're spoiled? This is arguably true for Warhammer people as well out there that are watching this. Do you think we're spoiled for choice now? I think we are.
There's too much choice.
So
and we're always waiting for the better thing.
What I found is when we used to have things like Sky, and I'd flick through the channels because we didn't have all the streaming services back then. But back when Luce and I were first together, not quite first together, a little bit longer when we weren't quite so poor, we had just Sky. We didn't have Netflix, Disney, Amazon. We just had Sky because that's all we had. And we did have the movies and we did have sports. Actually, no, I think I got rid of sports because of cost. But we did have movies. And I remember frequently going to the movie section of Sky, and there was like, 10 movie channels? Something like that?
Yeah.
Ish. I'd go to the movie section on Sky, and I'd flick through which ones there were on, and I'd pick one that was on, and I'd sit there and watch it. And not just the movie section, I'd often go into like the main channels and be like, I'll watch this police chase fucking program for a change. And I'd sit there and watch it. And I 100% watched more varied stuff then, 15 years ago, than I do now. Because now there's no TV menu to flick through for me. What I do is I go, I'm just going to go watch something that I know I like. And I watch the same stuff over and over. And I binge Band of Brothers or Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter films or whatever.
Yeah.
Binge that stuff again. I'll go back to a series like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or what like. And I feel like now I watch less variety and less varied stuff because I'm like overwhelmed by choice. Watch the thing I know I like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas before it's like, I don't really fancy any of those movies. I just put this random one on, and eventually, it's just started, and you put it on, and eventually you go, that was a banging film. But I would never have picked to watch it otherwise.
Me and Dad used to have a weekend routine that it was either a Friday or a Saturday, was Parky. We used to watch Parky religiously.
Oh.
Sunday night was always Top Gear.
Your dad 100% strikes me as a Parky man, to be fair.
Sunday night was always Top Gear. You had to be dead or on fire for there not to be Top
That
Gear
was the law.
on in the lounge.
Wasn't an option, that was the law.
But there would always be a film on, and films now are really shit. You end up having to search the on-demand to get a good film on for the kids. So while I'm there saying to the kids, don't go on to demand, go on to live telly, we're spoilt now because always being shown the thing that you want at the time you want it is making us selfish. So watch live telly. It is so shit. It's really not accessible for kids anymore.
No.
So no wonder they go for the YouTubes or the Amazon Primes.
Here's the other thing as well. We'll get to Matt being crazy in a minute. Here's the other thing as well. One of the things I love about things like Apple TV, for example, and I know I sound like an Apple shill here, but just as an example, because I don't know if anyone else does this. I think Amazon does it as well. I think Amazon does it with Clarkson's Farm, for example. I know Apple does it with Slow Horses. I know it does it with the morning show. And when the show launches, you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
When the show launches and you watch episode 1, what do you do after that?
Straight to number 2.
No, not with the morning show or Slow Horses or Clarkson's Farm. No. You have to wait a week. Because I get a message on my phone from Apple TV saying episode 2 is now available.
One of them, I think it might be Clarkson's Farm then.
Maybe it's Clarkson's Farm that releases the whole series at once.
I don't think it's the whole lot, but there's I think they do chunks of it.
But honestly, the fact that you can go, I like the fact that they're like, wait a week and you can watch the next one. I like that anticipation and that, what's going to happen? I love that. I hate I'll just watch the next one now.
You know the show Hijack?
Yeah.
Idris Elba was on the plane. Who was the actor that was on the ground? I've forgotten his name. But he did an interview and they asked him, is the whole lot available to binge watch? And he said, no, it's coming out week by week, because as actors, when you work on a project for months at a time, then the whole thing can be binged in a day. It doesn't feel like you're appreciating the craft very much.
You're not, no.
Because you're just binging it.
You just binge it.
Yeah.
Chat saying Clarkson's Farm was released in 2 halves.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah, chunks released, which is better, but I still don't like it. Matt O'Reilly. Look, I'm aware you've banged your head.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
How did you bang your head?
He's been in hospital because he banged his head and had bleeding on the brain.
Holy shit, man.
So I'm just hoping that what you're doing right now is conscious, sensible decisions. And you're not like stroking out on your phone. Thank you so much for 20 more gifted. He also said, chat, when he did the 20 gifted, after about 4 were given out, he said, choo choo. So Matt is asking you for a membership train. I'm not asking.
Choo choo.
Matt is asking you all for a membership train after he has gifted 40 of the 46 current members. Any advance on 40? I'll wait. Yeah, I do think that there is a flip side.
Hang on. I hope for you, Matt, your bed is near the nurse's station so you can hear the juiciest gossip. There's always good gossip at the nurse's station.
Yeah.
I would recommend For All Mankind on Apple TV.
What's it about, Clive? What's it about? Tell us what it's about. He's Australian, Warhammer, not American. Wee man, you're a fucking legend. I love you. And I get to see you tomorrow. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Cannon, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Rick, thank you for the 1. Yeston, thank you for the 1. Demo Gorgon, thank you for the 1. Cannon, what a legend doing 10 gifted straight away as well. And Wee man, who turns up all the time. What a fucking hero. Thank you so much. Leagues of Ocean, thank you for the 1 gifted. Choo choo indeed, Matt. You started this. This is your work. This is your work, sir. It wasn't me. Matt asked for it, not me. It's normally me. It's not me this time. You get 5 from me. Trains are for losers. Thank you, Nick, you hero. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, dude. I'm looking forward to Thames weekend, seeing all these crazy people. Dave, thank you for the 5 gifted. Look where we jumped to. Thank you, Dave. Hook. Clive, thank you for the 1. Choo-choo. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Is that Mr. Clive?
Clive the Kiwi.
With a hat trick?
Yeah.
Thank you, James, for the 1 gifted. 72. If we could just do this each time until the 100, I'll be a lot more calmer for the rest of the stream. I've got an incredibly busy, 4 days coming up. Sam, thank you for the 1 gifted. Aren't you on a plane? Christopher Sanford, Police Station Gloucester, thank you for the 5 gifted. Sam, I thought you were on a plane. We're up to 70. I love it because you go quiet scribbling all the names down as well, which makes me laugh. Like, if it's like 10 at a time, Lucy's easy, just write a name, it'll be a while. When it's 1, 1, 1, 1, she's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I then start to shorthand things.
Yeah. Thank you, you wonderful human beings. I love you all. Was wondering why I felt mopey last couple of days. Realised it's because I should be at Fane's weekend and I'm not. Why aren't you?
Aww.
Where's Doggo?
She was here a minute ago.
Okay, can I change the super chat goal? Oh, I can't change it because it's already started. I'll change the super chat goal. Hit super chat goal. Doggo cam. Done. Nobody. Thank you for the 1 gifted. Hang on. Ryzen? I think. Thank you for the 1 gifted. Dave, 5.
Choo choo.
What a hero. Choo choo, motherfucker. Just a 20 needed now. For All Mankind is an alternate history show about the American space race with Russia. Did we watch that?
No, that was a film called Fly Me to the Moon, I think.
That's the one we watched, yeah.
Yeah, with Channing Tatum and...
I actually thoroughly enjoyed that film.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Johansson.
Isn't it Johansson?
Yeah. Did Luce ever finish her New Year's homework, or did I miss it?
I've given up. I'll take the detentions. I've given up. It got too much.
She hasn't even finished her Lord of the Rings marathon.
The biggest problem with that homework is when people like Warhammer Jesus, when he'd make several YouTube names.
Yeah, but that's a him problem. That's not a you problem.
I know, but then it was because it's the same person, because otherwise I could then end up having John McArdle in...
I just treat them all as different people because of different accounts.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake was taking the Space Marines side of a starter box. Now I want multiple of all of them.
The right life choice, then. The right life choice. Scarlet is the future Mrs. Demogorgon. Wouldn't you have to wrestle off that guy who does the news? What's his name? She's married to the news guy who does the Saturday Night Live news dude thing with the other guy.
Oh, is she?
What's his fucking name? Because they do jokes for each other. Colin and I can't remember the guy's name. And the guy, he often gets, because what they have to do on this section of Saturday, I love this section of Saturday Night Live, is they have to read the teleprompter and they just have to read it, and the other person's written it for them, and it can be quite offensive. And often her husband has to read out things about her and her new movies and stuff. It's quite funny.
Is she really married to an
Yeah.
person?
Colin something or other. What's his name? Colin Jost. There we go. See? Chat know. If in doubt, ask chat. They know.
And they write each other's teleprompter.
Yeah, Saturday Night Live. I'll find some clips. Some of them are fucking hilarious. I'll find some clips for you after the show. Some of it I can't put on stream.
I thought that was the show with the 2 guys.
Yes.
But only the 2 guys wrote each other's teleprompter, not Scarlett Johansson.
Right, correct. Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I thought you meant Scarlett Johansson writes.
No, the guys write for each other, and he often has to read out something about his wife, who is Scarlett Johansson.
Right, okay, that's where I got confused. Okay.
We're back in?
We're back in the room.
Nailed it.
For all mankind is alt history space race if the Soviet landed on the moon first.
Oh, I'm interested. Joke swap is hilarious. Yeah, I love it. Fun. Apparently, the original Danish pronunciation is Johansson, but Scarlett herself pronounces the J.
Oh, okay.
Oh. We all know celebrity marriages never last. You go over there, Kev. You go over there. You sweep in with your rag and chloroform. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, mate. Tell me what this rag smells of. Banging. Thank you for the membership train anyway, you wonderful humans. Thank you, Edward, for that last one. We're on 81. One big dick and we hit target. What a fucking bunch of legends. Thank you so much. If you get in the next... Wow, it's going to be like 20 minutes now, if that. In the next 20 minutes, if you get 8 more yellow ones, we'll do Doggo Cam. Otherwise, you fuck it. Wargunner is still... I must have seen you. Mr. Wargunner, bless you. I think people now probably think he's you.
Why?
Because he comes in every single stream we do, and the first thing he normally writes is ! Snipe me. And he has been gifted a membership in the past, so it is possible. And it gets to a point where some person is so unsnipeable, they're like, have you just got loose? Type in snipe me on an alt account. Which, when I first got told that, I was like, that's a fucking great idea. Why haven't I been doing that?
And then you went, she doesn't know how to do that.
She doesn't know how to switch accounts. It's bad enough getting into the account that's actually hers. Evan, thank you for 5 gifted. Evan to Thank you, Evan, you hero, for 5 more gifted memberships. Thank you, Morty Hammer, for 1 more gifted memberships. Wargunner is the new munch. He is, 100%, yeah. I watched the first Harry Potter film again today. Well, I had it on in the background whilst I was doing stuff. It's weird watching it after reading the book.
Oh, okay.
It's a much worse experience after reading the book because you realise they leave loads out.
Have you ruined it for yourself?
No, it was still enjoyable. Although, having said that, because the last time we watched the films, we went all the way through to the end, and the acting had got better, and the scene had got darker, and the graphics had got better, and the budget had kicked in, you do forget how shit the first film... Like, I have such incredibly fond memories of, like, Star Wars Episode 4, 5, and 6. So, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I have incredibly fond memories of those films. And then I put them on, and I still love them from my childhood, but you do look at the graphics and you go, oh, oh God. It's just not good. Thank you, Demogorgon, for the 1 gifted.
Ba-ba-ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum. China hosts world's first half-marathon race between humans and robots.
Fully believe it.
21 humanoid robots raced alongside thousands of runners around the 13-mile course in Beijing. How do you think it went?
The robots lost. The robots rised up and then killed the winner.
So the robots had to resemble humans, but no wheels. Obviously, that...
Poor old Datsun Des. What makes him not human?
One robot fell at the starting line and lay on the ground for a few minutes before getting up and joining the race, while another crashed into a railing, causing its human operator to fall over. So it's a 13-mile marathon.
Well, 13-mile half marathon, yeah.
Where do you think the operators are?
At the finish.
They're running behind the robots. So they're having to train for the marathon to run behind the robot to potentially pick the robot back up.
I just at least make sure the robot's strong enough to fucking carry me. Jesus, what's the point in doing it otherwise?
Some robots were about 3 foot tall, and the tallest one was 5'9".
That's taller than you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm 5'6".
Yeah, I'm about to say. Dad says I've never claimed to be human.
The winning robot was Tiangong Ultra, which crossed the finishing line in the time of 2 hours and 40 minutes, while the men's winner of the race had a time of 1 hour and 2 minutes. I don't know if they made the robots slower on purpose or Did they have to be capped at a speed because...
Couldn't do it in this
That's
country anyway.
not-
Couldn't do that in this country because it would rain.
Yeah, are the robots waterproof? No, so they can't run.
Bit of rain.
And they only had to be charged for a maximum of 3 times
Oh,
during the race.
why is this a thing?
Yeah,
Why? I don't understand. What, like when you're running a marathon or you're running a half marathon or you're doing the hurdles or the high jump, you're competing with your athleticism against other people and pushing yourself physically. If a robot does it, it's like, oh, a robot do it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Unless the future of the London Marathon is nothing but robots, but it's like London Marathon / Robot Wars, then I'm in. Then I'm in.
You can't have wheels because otherwise it's ridiculous.
Yeah, Des.
Does it have to be human size or could you bring Optimus Prime?
He's got wheels, Ash! He's got wheels! You're out!
Yeah, you're not allowed.
No wheels. No wheels. We didn't talk much about this perfect game, by the way, team. I know you did last roll. Thank you for the one gifted. 89. 11 to go, you motherfuckers. We didn't talk about this perfect game much. Does anyone think it's possible or want a perfect game or doesn't care about a couple of odd... Do people just... I guess the biggest question is, do people just flat accept the fact that you're probably going to get a rule wrong?
I would.
Optimus Prime has legs and wheels. He's a truck.
They didn't specify if the wheels touched the floor. They just said no wheels.
Des says, and that's why I don't do marathons. Honestly, team, this world is mental.
Yeah.
I think it's possible, but incredibly rare. Yes, I think it's possible. Okay. Girls doing the shocker. I guess that's not supposed to be what that is, though, is it? I don't want to play against someone who fusses about getting every rule right. Interesting. Perfect game. Southampton been trying all season. I mean, 0% success rate then, Kai, right? Getting rules wrong is part of the game. Look at VAR. Well, yeah. A rule wrong, you mad lad. No one makes mistakes. Thanks to JDI. Another great name chat that you can snipe. I have legs, but I'm certain I have a steering wheel in my head. What? Escapade, have you been drinking? Can I have some of it, please? Running a half marathon behind my toaster. Fuck that. Just carrying it out in front of you. Does that count? You'd have to fucking charge it at all then. As long as both players have a good time. That's where I'm at, Rob, with it, right? Yesterday, Brom got a lot wrong, but him and Paddy still had a great time. I think if it was an event, if it was like a tournament, Paddy would have been more aggrieved. And that's why I was wondering if it would go that direction. I wonder if anyone would say this, like, it depends. If you're at a tournament, you expect it to be closer to a perfect game than if you're perhaps just having a laugh with mates. Do you know what I mean? That's where I think it the kind of there's a bit of a discrepancy or a bit of a like a grey area. Like I'd expect people to be more correct with their rules at tournaments than I would if I was just hanging out and having a few games with mates. That being said, I still don't expect every rule to be right at tournaments. I just don't. We don't get rules wrong. GW just did a misprint. Yeah, exactly. Brom was funny, painful, but also so funny. Yeah, it is funny. I don't get all the rules right, so I don't expect my opponents to either. Correct. It pisses me off if they make mistakes in their benefit, but not the other way around. I'm kind of torn, Eb, right? I'm kind of torn. Like, it's sort of 50-50 for me. If a player is only ever getting rules wrong to their benefit, then I'm guessing I'm going to be a bit annoyed by it. But if it's like a bit 50-50, if it's like Brom yesterday, he played that strat 3 times, which is probably quite powerful. But he also forgot anti-fly all game and forgot reroll hits and wounds all game. So it's, do you know what I mean? It's like there's a balance there, and it's hard to gauge whether that balance is in his favour or not in his favour overall, as like an overall kind of like where it sits on the chart to completely in his favour, not in his favour at all, and where that sits is hard to gauge, because how much difference did that 2 CP strat like make for the 3 turns or 4 times that he used it, 3 turns that he used it, versus him not using anti-fly versus the Bloodthirster and Be'lakor versus him not using reroll hits and wounds for basically most of the game. So, you know, I think I can live with people getting rules wrong in their favour if it's very obvious it was a genuine mistake, and there's been other errors that weren't necessarily in their favour as well. No malicious intent though, so it's not an issue for me. Yeah, I agree. I couldn't care less. I just want to take the piss and have a pint. 100% that's what gaming's about for me, Kai. Without doubt. Bromming is brommalicious. That is a phrase they use. Oh, you brommed it.
Yeah.
It is a phrase.
I used to think that bromming it meant taking forever.
I mean, it kind of does. It's got many meanings.
Yeah, now there's another meaning to it. Is that, did you read the whole rule, Brom?
Yeah. Yeah. He really does shoulder so many burdens. Yep. It's funny because the strat that he overused was called Shoulder the Burden. Mr. Wargunner still wants that membership team! If it's clear they don't just remember everything, that's fine. But if they constantly remember things in a way in their favour, but pretty much never the other way around. Yeah, exactly. I think sometimes that can encroach on kind of foul play. Like, this is convenient that you've only interpreted everything in your favour. I think there's a line it crosses. And this isn't just Warhammer. Like, this is sports, board games. Like, there's people that you play where you're like, that's not how that works. That's not how that rule works. But then you kind of get the vibe that you're like, complete innocence. That's how they think it works. Yeah. And I think if that's the case, I'm like, yeah, cool, whatever, fine. I don't care. There's like malicious intent, I think was the word that was used from Verizon, I think is how I say it properly, right? No malicious intent. I think it happens with the kids sometimes. You play a board game, you're like, that's not how that works. But they're just innocently playing a board game. So I'm not going to go, no, you knobhead. Because I don't, it's fine. They can learn eventually. It's not a massive issue. Same with sports and stuff like that. But there are occasions where I've played board games with people. We've played board games with people, Luce. And you go, oh, you're one of those. There's a couple of board games specifically that bring out the worst in people. Yes. Isn't there? Monopoly. Why does everyone turn into a shark on Monopoly?
That was a fun night. I was pregnant.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we had... How old was James? He was about 4. I think it was around 4. So I was pregnant, incredibly nauseous, way too tired. And you were like, all right, fine, we'll do Monopoly. None of us cared. Well, the 3 out of the 4 of us didn't care. 1 of the 4 of us cared a little too much about winning. Fine, have the win. I'm too tired and too pregnant. I don't care. I'm going to bed.
Actually, I think you'll find it says do not pass go. I fucking love Monopoly, and I never had this experience when I was younger that everyone has subsequently told me about, where everyone turns into a demon on Monopoly. And I have had experience as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just... I don't get it. I don't get it. For anything as well, that like, at my level, whether it's a board game, whether it's 40k, whether it's a sport, at my level, I'm like, what are you gaining?
Yeah.
Like, if you were playing for a trophy that's worth 50 grand, all right, I understand a little bit. We have this with like, it's not quite the same because it's not like bending or misinterpreting a rule, but we have it in Call of Duty. There's a couple of times over the last few weeks that Joe and I have played Call of Duty, and there's a new mode which I've told everyone about on Vag. There's a new mode called Casuals, right, which is for casual people. So they've got a mode called Casuals, a mode called Boot Camp, and a mode called just normal Battle Royale. And Tom has explained it as Boot Camp is for people with jobs and children. Because it's pretty much all against AI. It's all against bots,
okay.
right? And then you've got Casuals, which is it's for people with a job but not with children. So they've got more time to practice and play because there's more actual players in the game. And then full Battle Royale mode, where there's no AI and it's all players, is a mode for people with no job, no children. And sit home and play eight hours a day, right? Yeah. That's the way that Tom, and I laughed because it's quite accurate. But Casuals is the mode that we're enjoying the most because it offers a bit of a challenge because there are other player teams in there, but it's mostly AI. So there's 148 people on the map, and of those 148 people on the map, 28 of them are real people, and 120 of them are made up of AI-based teams. And you fight them, and when you shoot at someone, when they're at you, like, that's a bot. Cool.
I was just about to say, can you tell?
Yes, mostly you can. There are a couple of occasions where I'm like, I'm not sure, but mostly you can tell. The AI is getting quite good, and it's called Casual mode. It's for casual people. Casuals.
Okay.
And yet, on at least 2 occasions, Joe and I have been playing in the casuals mode, and we have come across people who are 100% without any shadow of a doubt using hacks and cheats to win. Like, and I know it's not one of those where, like, it's a bit dodgy. There's a couple of occasions where we're like 100% hacking, no doubt at all. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever.
Have you reported them?
Yeah, we've reported them. And on one of the occasions, I got the feedback saying he's been kicked. He's been banned, which is good. But I'm like, you're cheating in casual mode?
Yeah.
So you're winning a game where 120 of the 148 players are fucking bots. And you're still cheating? We're talking, what, 8 teams of people? No? 7 teams of people. Is it 28 divided by 4? Is a number in it. 24 is 6. 7 teams of people. I was right. 7 teams of people.
Notice how I didn't jump at that math.
You were just yawning. You were mid-yawn. I was just like, she knows the answer. I'll just jump in.
I didn't know the answer.
I'm trying to protect you here.
If I had 2 more minutes on it, I'd have gone, oh, it's 7.
But you've got there's 7 teams of real people cheating against 7 teams of real people. For fuck's sake. Get a grip. Why do you need to... And it's not just that. I've seen people who have actually full-on cheated in casual games of Warhammer. I'm like... I'm not talking about misremembering rules here. I'm talking about actual cheating. And I'm like... There's nothing on the line here.
Do you report them then?
Well, I have spoken to people in gaming halls and been like, you are aware that he's done this or do it. And people are like, yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, okay, I mean, you're his opponent, so it's not down to me at this point.
Yeah, but what about This
is casual, there's no TOs. Like, I'm all about friendly games, casual games.
Oh.
I'm not about tournaments.
Oh, that's awkward.
And the other thing as well is, I don't know if this is just me, but tournament, I have never ever known anyone report cheating on another table at a tournament. And I don't know how the TOs would react to that as well. Because they might be like...
What, like you overhear something?
So like you were playing person B and I watch your game and person B cheats and I go to a TO and say person B's cheating, he'd probably going to say to me, not your fucking game, why are you reporting it? Which I think is like, well, maybe person A is not happy reporting it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand, because if you do anything and you cheat to get there, whether that's a video game, whether that's Warhammer, whether that's sport, and it's whether you're literally cheating by what you're doing or you're cheating with, I don't know, PEDs or whatever, and you get to a point where you win something, surely for you at that point, it feels...
It's a hollow victory.
Can people actually get joy from that?
I hope not. I hope it doesn't.
If you aimbot your way all the way through a fucking Call of Duty game to get to the end and win, can you be like, yeah, we won? Or are you going, I didn't know because the computer did it for me? If you take fucking copious amounts of drugs and you win a powerlifting competition, did you win?
No.
You didn't, did you? The drugs did it.
You cheated.
If you win a game of Warhammer because you baked your fucking dice, did you win? Well, no. You cheating dice won it.
Hey, now, we just sell the microwave dice because people have cold hands.
Yeah, well, yeah. I don't get it, though. I don't get it. Surely the sense of achievement by actually doing it yourself is worth far more than the win if you've done it with some sort of like unfair aid. I don't understand. Can't lie, I do love competitive drama. Nick Krygios is pleasure to watch because he's known F-Ed, but I'd never want to play the man. I don't like the drama. I don't.
I think I didn't like the way the atmosphere felt on that Monopoly game, but then very heavily added in the being pregnant and tired with a 4-year-old, and the autism was starting to poke through, and I just wasn't in a Monopoly kind of place. So it could have been a delightful game, and I still might have yawned my head off the whole way through it. But that was somebody hell bent on winning like that. It just feels...
University students using ChatGPT would disagree. But there is an argument. So I think if you're using ChatGPT to write your lectures, write your... what are they called?
Dissertation.
Thank you. Yes, things like your dissertations and stuff.
I thought there was some kind of software in universities where they could scan through a dissertation it would pick up.
Anti-AI software exists to detect it, or AI detecting software exists. And it's wrong. For clarity, if you're going to do a course and you use AI to write your essay or whatever, it is wrong. Fact.
Yeah.
But I also look at a lot of education courses and I'm like, 80% of this is bullshit. You don't need to, like, how much stuff that you learned at school you use to this day?
I'm so glad you brought us onto this topic because I had a wonderful science lesson with Ben yesterday.
Done right.
I am teaching him, do not write it down if you do not understand it. I'd rather the piece of paper remain blank for 6 weeks until the penny drops.
Yeah.
And we were talking about plants and how much sunshine and water and soil the plants need to grow nice and strong. For the last few years, me and Ben have been working on the word sharing, and I have foolishly swapped out divide with the word share.
Well, not foolishly. It was to help him understand it, right?
I've got 12 bananas, Ben, and I would like to share my bananas between the two of us. How many bananas do we get each? But now it's kind of punching me in the face because yesterday we were talking about plants. 4 plant pots, A, B, C and D. Plant pot A has 2 in. Plant pot B has 4 in.
Right.
Plant pot C has 6.
Okay.
D has 8.
Right.
Which plant pot is going to grow the strongest plants? All the plant pots are the same size. They all have the same water.
Okay.
The same amount of soil, and they're in the daylight for the same amount of time.
A.
No. I have been on this question for 2 weeks with Ben, and I keep saying to him, do not write it down if you don't understand.
It's A. A grows the strongest.
Apparently it's not.
Wait, apparently according to the actual real world, or
No.
apparently according to Ben?
To Ben.
Right, okay. Why?
So
Which one's grows the strongest plants?
I couldn't quite get Ben to understand, and I thought, where are we going? Because if I gave Ben 1/8 of his dinner, he wouldn't be as full, or he wouldn't sleep as well, and he wouldn't grow as well as if he had half a dinner. So I'm trying to make him understand this tiny bit of food versus this much bigger bit of food. Which one is going to be better for you? And he still didn't get it. And then I had the light bulb moment.
My sister-in-law put in some kind of code on her students' homework that prompted Frankenstein to come up if they used chat, and caught several kids who never checked and got called up for it.
Oh, wow. That's fucking cool as shit.
So then I had the light bulb moment of pizza. I'm going to use pizza because we use pizza in fractions. It's a really easy visual representation of a half
pizza's
or
what they
a
use in
quarter.
schools for fractions, for Christ's sake, because it's so easy to show people.
So then I ended up crossing out one of the flowers in plant pot A. Like, right, this one flower is going to get the whole pizza, and then B, C, and D will be the same. They'll still have 4, 6, and 8 plants in, but the same pizza. So this will be really easy to understand now. Are you going to feel better with the whole pizza? You're going to be so full, you're going to sleep so well, you're going to grow really strong. Or if you have to share that same pizza with 7 other people, that's not going to be very good, is it? He said, but sharing is caring. Well,
That's not wrong, but
yes.
doesn't mean you're stronger.
But so, yes, okay, sharing is caring. That's very kind of you. Well done. But
See, I've told you this.
But-
we should have been teaching him that sharing's for the weak.
so after sitting in the silence for 10 minutes going, how do I... Okay, right, fine. Okay, we'll go with it. Sharing is caring. So the sunlight, that can just go on and on and on. There's no... You have to come out of the sunlight for it to stop being shared. But the soil and the water, that has to be shared. So that will run out. Eventually, after 20 minutes, we settled on plant pot A will be the strongest because it gets to eat all the pizza.
Fair.
I narrowly missed a nervous breakdown. I'm taking it. So when I get the lovely Laura coming over in November and she looks at that and she goes, why are plants eating pizza?
Eats pizza?
I'm just going to say to her, the important thing is, Laura, that nobody died on that day. That's the
Apart from the plants
thing.
that are fed pizza.
But it's fine, because I'm going to do a science experiment of putting 1 seed in 1 plant pot and then 8 seeds in 1
He'll
plant
still
pot.
tell you that the 8 seeds are happier because they've got friends.
Yeah, he will.
Mm-hmm.
He'll say, but they're together.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I don't feel like
Yeah.
we beat him enough.
If he was older and he'd learnt about how sweet corn pollinates, he would be right in saying that the plant pot with 8 in would do better than the 1.
Does the bananas get put on the pizza?
And bless him, and he was getting all upset, and I said to him, it doesn't matter how long we sit here talking about plants and pizza. If you don't understand it, don't write it down. I would rather the page
So Strumming
be
Fish says,
blank.
I'm completely lost here. Oh dear, oh dear. Poor lad.
Oh,
You should... I think the way to do it is about...
it's my fault because I swapped out the word divide with share. So now anytime
Yeah.
I say share,
You always want to do it like a leveling up thing, aren't you? And how much... Because he understands leveling up and experience points. Because he plays video
yeah, but
games.
I don't. That's not that's not the position I'm coming from.
that's
so
fine.
then I would be the one hindering.
Yeah.
It's fine because I'll do the 1 seed in 1 pot and then 8 seeds in the same size pot. So he can see.
You watch that 1 seed fail.
I know, you watch the one that won't germinate. Damn
And
it!
all 8 succeed and the 1 fails. He'll be like, told you, Mum!
Sharing
I
is
was
caring.
right!
But then, and there was a moment as well that he was like, you shouldn't eat the whole pizza yourself because then you'd eat too much.
Yeah,
Like,
you
oh
fucking
God.
greedy guts. There you go. If you understood that, give us your answer. Give us your answer on a yellow postcard if you understood all of that. All right? We are still waiting for 10 of the finest memberships as well, you wonderful human beings in chat. Does a plant die if there's pineapple on the pizza? Yes. Yes. So the bananas passes go and got 200 quid and we divided that between the pizza. Yeah.
That's exactly it, Kai.
Yeah, Kai, you've nailed it.
Oh.
100% got it. You're there, mate. You could have sat Luce's home ed lesson with that answer. Bless him. I've heard pizzas, bananas, and something about seeds. Seems accurate. New streaming idea: lessons with Luce. We could make a YouTube channel out of lessons with Luce. Honestly,
God. Well, then with James, his scientific calculator keeps giving all the answers as a fraction, not as the decimal answer.
it's a setting issue.
So he's doing algebraic hidden brackets fraction problems,
That
but
doesn't sound like their name.
it's using BODMAS, and we understand it. But then on the page it says use your calculator. So he's like, oh, awesome! I don't have to work it out. But the calculator keeps giving a fraction, an improper fraction as well, as the final answer, not the decimal answer. So then, if we work it out according to BODMAS, we get the right answer. But if we try and convert that fraction to its decimal place, for some reason we're getting a different answer. So I don't understand what's happening.
After this weekend, let me get this weekend out of the way, and then show me, and I'll
Yeah.
be able to figure it out. But I need to see it in front of me. I have my fancy whiteboard I can use as
Yeah,
well.
I might just start writing the equations on the board and then being like, why?
If I can move all my stuff that's on my board into the around the outside.
Around the outside.
Around the outside. And then I can leave a big blank space in the middle, and if I come home and you've written an equation on there, I know what I'm like. I'll just start trying to solve it.
This sounds like I'm diminishing James's effort. I'm not. They're very easy. It's just, why is the calculator giving an improper fraction as the answer, not the decimal answer? Because if he does it according to BobMass, he gets the right answer. So nobody's heartbroken. We're just being really confused by the calculator.
Yeah, it'll be a setting on the calculator, almost definitely. And if it's giving you, if the improper fraction converted is incorrect as per what you've worked out at, then you're inputting it incorrect.
There's an S greater than D button you can use loose.
An S. Is that settings to decimal?
I think you found a niche in the market there. I mean, if pasta grannies can snag 1 million subs on YouTube, Kev, everyone can snag 1 million subs on YouTube, but me. Honestly. So, no, the fraction is a banana, a decimal is a tomato. Chat are very confused right now.
Yeah.
If you can continue to confuse them to the point where they just gift a membership and they don't know what's happened, that'd be great. With your voodoo teachy words.
Although,
Thank you, Ash, for the 2, by the way.
What I did see yesterday, considering Ben's never been to school, when he was getting a bit upset, and I even stopped him writing it down because he was getting upset and he was just starting to write stuff down, and I said, do you understand why plant pot D the flowers won't grow? And he was shaking his head and he started to write something down, and I thought, wow, that he, even though there is no peer group here that's going to laugh at him, he's still trying to write something down. So he's still trying to get through, like, path of least resistance. Like, he won't sit in the problem. It's almost like the hot potato. I don't want it. I don't want to touch it. Actually, no, we need to sit in the problem because we don't know.
I hate sitting in the problem.
I know,
Eventually
but
it goes cold.
It's important. It's important to sit and wait and understand it and not to just try and guess your way out.
Eventually it goes cold, and then you start getting a rash. I hate sitting in the problem. Ash has said he's DM'd you on Discord.
Okay.
Yeah. Does your parents know you're talking to adults on Discord? Laughing hurts my paining parts. What's your paining parts, Escapade? What's going on with you? Top potato now, fuck me. Screw the problem, just walk away. 100%, absolutely. Yeah. Joe loves food. A Joe cooking channel. A Joe cooking channel would be fucking brilliant, actually, because you'd go to it thinking he's actually going to teach you to cook, and he wouldn't be. Last Thursday. What day are we on? Last Thursday, he decided from what's it called, Aldi, he wanted chicken for dinner.
Yeah.
So he bought a pack of pre-coated southern fried chicken, like legs and thighs and what have you. Right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. And I was like, that's right, actually. So I bought the same and a bit of salad and stuff, right? Because we can cook it in the air fryer. Why not? So the golden rule for an air fryer typically is whatever it says you cook it in the oven, you basically just half it. So if it says
I didn't know that.
If it says it takes 30 minutes in the oven, you basically do it for 15 minutes. And then sometimes I'm like, check it.
Yeah.
2 more minutes. And I know in future, that isn't 15, that'll be 18 minutes, for example,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So we got this chicken back. And Paddy's the one that told Joe the rule. And I overheard, if in doubt, half the oven time, test it. Go from there. So he puts his chicken in the fucking air fryer, sticks the air fryer on, and he sat chatting, and eventually the air fryer goes off, and I don't know how long's passed at this point. And he comes out and he sits down. I was like, how long did you put yours in for, out of curiosity? Because I looked at the back of mine, it says 35 minutes. So I'm instantly thinking 17 to 18 minutes is what I'm going to be putting mine in for. Instantly, because half of 35, right? 17 and a half is half of 35. He sits down, he picks up his chicken leg. I was like, how long have you had that in for? He went, 13 minutes.
Did he check it?
No. And 13 minutes is a random number when you think about it, because it's 35 on the back.
Yeah.
Where's he got 13 from? I don't understand. Because if you triple it, it's 39. If you double it, it's 26. Anyway, and then he bites it, and it wasn't done. It wasn't done.
No.
And I was like, right, do you want to stick yours back in before I do mine? He went, nah, it'll be fine. And he sat there and ate it. And I was like, I'm going to put mine in for 18 minutes? Guess what? Mine was fucking perfect.
Yeah. Yeah,
Honestly.
chicken. Usually you can smell when chicken's done as well. Same with things like cake
I mean,
and
you just
bread
stick a
and
fucking
stuff.
blade in it and check if
Yeah.
it's bleeding or not.
That's what I mean. If he doesn't want to stick a knife in, which I mean, I think you should always stick a knife in the chicken. You can usually smell when it's done.
Excuse me. Could I have Joe teaches Loose 40k, Loose teaches Joe cooking?
I do that. I do a swap.
I think you'd rather teach Ben about pizzas and plants, to be honest with you.
Do you know what though? Ben almost writing something down. When I said to him, "Don't worry if you're beginning to feel like you feel silly for not knowing," and he nodded, and I said, "If you don't know yet, that's not anybody's fault." You know when kids go, "I'm stupid. I don't understand it. That equals I'm stupid." When I sort of reworded it as, "I've just not used the right words to reach you yet."
Yeah.
But I worded it way better than that. I can't remember how I said it, but it was a you not understanding the plants. That's not your fault
Yeah.
because you're still really little.
Yeah. Yeah, I do it with the maths problem sometimes. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'll write something down and you'll look at me like I've literally just explained it in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I'm not getting annoyed at you. I'm getting annoyed at me because I'm like, I don't know how I can actually put this in a
Yeah.
way that you understand. I've put it up in the way that I understand it.
Yeah.
And because I understand it that way, I've never really thought about it in a different way, in a different context.
I reckon that's the biggest thing I can be proud of in home ed is I've gotten fairly good at breaking it down further and further and further. Ben's plant pot thing yesterday with the pizza, I think we're both on the verge of tears, so I'll let that one go. But you're right, it's not their fault they don't understand. I haven't been able to reach them yet.
Yeah.
So I need to either break it down more or just use a whole other vocabulary because it's not working.
Kai says best way to get through to them is to shout, "Listen, you dozy bastard, or you're getting adopted." Punter has also said, "I know a guy who put a chicken in the microwave for 2.5 hours.
Did it work?
Was it? What happened to
Did
it?
it explode?
I want to know the end of that story, Punter. What the fuck happened to the chicken? I'm interested now. Everyone wait for Punter's answer. Chat, we're still 10 away as well with 10 minutes to go. Super chats have been disastrous tonight, but we'll let you off that one. We're on £41, Luce.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's a good round number.
It's not.
It's a good round number.
It's $40.99 strictly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cheaper than 41.
Just. It is. Fact. Marketing technique 101.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the proudest thing I've got. Is that having to go, oh, how do I make this problem smaller and then build it back up?
It's not easy though, is it?
It's really not.
It does sometimes give you a little bit of a newfound respect for people who are teachers,
Yeah.
who are able to, because not everyone can, who are able to communicate on multiple levels.
Yeah. Especially if the day before you've had to break down something like photosynthesis, but then the next day you've talked about the Industrial Revolution and they've just got it and you're like, how? I don't understand how you were able to understand that concept and not this one.
I'll tell you what, the thing that I'm grateful for, however, is if they were in an actual classroom, there is a possibility, not always the case, but there is a possibility they don't understand it and it moves on anyway.
I know.
And there's a number of kids that I used to have people sat next to me do all the time. They'll go, copy the answer down. I've got the answer down. I didn't understand it, but I've copied his answer, so I'll get it right.
Yeah.
So at least you say you've been on it for a long time, but at least he's not progressing past the point that he didn't understand. And then when you need that core fundamental understanding to get the next part in 2-3 months time, you're not going, how do you not know this? We did the foundations for this months ago. And, he doesn't go, well, I never understood it then.
I know. Watching Ben still trying to write something down when he didn't understand it, that was me like, oh, I've accidentally triggered a survival tactic. and this is supposed to be a safe learning space, and I've triggered a survival. Like, I'm really sorry. That's not your fault. That's me. Let's try again.
Yeah. Why home ed? Interesting, since I worked in education for 16 years and teach it all. So home ed was something that Luce wanted to do for ages pre-COVID, and I was very much of the attitude, no, I went to school. They can go to school. It's good for them. But then COVID happened, and we had the opportunity to we had the opportunity. COVID happened, and it was like, well, you've got your free wish now, right? You get a free go, because they've got to come home. So if they do well at home and learn at home, then we'll keep doing it, and if they don't, we won't. My eldest, specifically, when we were in the school years, was behind. What after?
It's all right.
Oh, okay. It's your day off, though.
Yeah, I know.
He was behind national average. Then Luce takes over at home ed during COVID, well ahead of average now.
No, I wouldn't. No, if you imagine our boys have got their own spider's web. So if you put them in the centre and then around them you maybe count to 6. There's 6 things they're learning. And then a scale of 1 to 10, 0, absolutely not engaging at all. This is a non-starter. And then to 10 of excelling, genuinely passionate, all the information's just going in. Each leg of that spider's web has a different notch on. I would say Jim Jam, in terms of being able to retain information, he couldn't sit an exam. He has so much exam anxiety, it's still a huge problem. But if you put him in a working environment, he would just absorb that.
I still think, considering where he was, considering where he is now, he's raced ahead of the path he was on.
I don't know. No,
I do. Having watched it from the outside.
No, I think it's he wouldn't. The second you put him in a peer group where, like you said a minute ago, if he gets it or doesn't get it, they're moving on regardless.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But that's not what I'm
behind.
suggesting, though. I'm not suggesting that at all. What I'm saying is he was well behind where he should be for his age group at the time because of exactly that. Because he was sat in a classroom environment, and if he didn't understand it or he didn't retain the knowledge, they would just fucking move on anyway. So he was behind in every way. And now you wouldn't believe he's 12. Some of the things he does, some of the math problems he attacks, you'd think he was 14, 15 years old. So he's accelerated. If you put him back in that classroom environment, this is what I'm saying, this is why we're home edding. If you put him back in that environment, I think he falls back behind again. Absolutely.
He learns much slower, but once it's in, it's in.
Yeah.
So the his calculator thing that's going on, it took us half an hour to do a 4-part 1 question last week. Yeah. But it was absolutely right, and he absolutely understood.
Which is better.
But you couldn't possibly allow a class of 30 to spend half an hour on one 4-part question.
No, granted, but that's not the question I'm answering. The question, he said, Dave's asked, why home ed? And I'm saying because we had an opportunity to do it, and after doing it through COVID, when the schools opened up, I was like, well, he's actually done better at home than he was doing at school. And he has done better at home than he was doing at school. Because if you think he was doing better at school than he's doing at home, we might as well put him back in school.
He's doing better at home in the areas that school can't replicate. So I feel like it's an unfair.
No, but he's also doing better in the areas that school replicate. He's doing better in his standard education that we're giving him.
I don't know.
He is.
I don't know. I sit with him every day, babe. I don't know. He's a happier, more consistent child. The ADHD madness, if you like, that's more consistent. Despite him being still a slip of a thing, he put on weight being at home. That's and
Des says, I'm even more confused now. Are we rating spiders out of 10? Yeah, we are.
But Ben is really interesting. He's never been to school. He's never had the peer group competition / humiliation. And he's reading 3-year groups ahead of where he is.
Yeah. Right, chat. It is 5 minutes before the end of the show. There is 140 of you wonderful human beings watching. 10 likes, 10 members, between 140 of you. So 10 of you give the like, 10 of you give a member each. We can do that. I'll forgive the monumentally low attempt at super chatting tonight. I'll forgive that just this once. Get a free pass. Because it's been a roller coaster of a show where we haven't really talked about the title. I might start putting on my streams. There's no point putting a title here. Because we never stick to them anyway.
No, what's the point?
Yeah. But if I can get just 10 members and 10 likes out of you people, remember, and liking is, in fact, free, then I'll love you all forever. Well, till tomorrow shows. 98 likes, no increase on the members yet. This is prepping a fact. It's a race against time. 101 likes, thank you very much.
I think you need to do what's best for the child and their learning style. I teach computer science at times, and the pace of lessons is mad. I can see some kids just sitting there thinking, fuck this.
100%.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeston, thank you for the one gifted. You beautiful Welsh human. Sexual man.
Also, with home ed, there is no ahead or behind. You are where you are. So, tricky to answer for that reason as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Demogorgon, for the one gifted. Thank you, Matt, for the one gifted. We're on 93. 7 to go. If one person gives 50, we'll make it. See, I do maths.
Did Luce see the Brom meme?
It was in the group chat, so she's had access to it.
Was that where you all made weird pictures of Joe being a poet?
No, it's the one that was posted last night that Yeston put in the meme chat on Discord that I then copied and pasted into the group chat about Brom.
Oh no, I haven't. I don't think I've seen it.
Do you not read the group chat?
Sometimes.
I don't know where they are. Captain Rex, thank you for the one gifted. Ian Clark, thank you for the one gifted. You can all say you're doing your part. Your title should simply say "Click and find the fuck out." Yes. Yes. Want to send us into war hips when we're done? No, you haven't hit any. You haven't hit the super chat goal. You've not hit the membership goal. You can't go making demands now, Ash. That's not how it works. Some nights I sit here and within half an hour, super chats are like 3 figures. Memberships are 70% of the way there. Likes are done. Some nights they're like, nah, fuck him. He's boring.
Also, schools are results-driven businesses. If they think your child will affect results stats, they bin them off. Might be sacked on Monday.
Oh, wow.
So
That's mental.
I do know there's a thing called, is it off-rolling? And I think that's where a child can't, the school isn't appropriate for the child, so they kind of off-roll them. And then that's why the term elective home education isn't necessarily appropriate for everybody who home educates, because some parents have kind of been strong-armed into it. It's not really an elective choice.
No. Wow. Anyway, it's time. The bit that you... the bit that you've all probably been waiting for the whole night. All 130 of you. It's time. Thank you, Biggie Hugs, for the one gifted membership. For a loose fact.
The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
False.
Oh,
False.
you are going to be proven wrong.
It's the haggis.
It's not the haggis.
It's the haggis. It's not the unicorn, it's the haggis. Thank you, Biggie Hugs, for the one gifted away. We're on 96. 4 to go. 1 set of 5 and we're good. American schools teach completely to the standardized test scores, so the entire curriculum is geared towards those results. The funding for the school is tied to it. Fake loose fact. It's a haggis. You're all wrong. It's a haggis.
So when a school's saying 98%, 9 to 6s, oh, because they're numbers now, aren't they? A to C at GCSE, it's like 1/3 of the year.
What?
What?
Robert Warner's literally just flat said bullshit. Wrong. The national animal of Scotland is a deep fried unicorn, says Soups. SGM 40k says it's true. Matty Wright says false. Demogorgon says true. Jorfin says true. Hazard says true.
See? Thanks, Yestin. AI approves this fact.
It's a haggis!
It's not, it's a
Have
unicorn.
you ever been to Scotland?
Have you?
Yes.
Have you seen a haggis?
Yes.
Stop it.
I have. You see them on the sides of cliffs and mountains?
And you've been a cliffside in Scotland
Their
because...
right legs are always longer than their left legs. I was up there with the army on exercise.
On a cliff edge.
It was helicopters, wasn't it? Helicopter, helicopter.
It's a unicorn.
Sorry, hang on a minute. Wait. Hang on. Let's just rewind a second. I've just realised something.
Yeah.
You're saying that it can't be haggises as the natural animal of Scotland. Sorry, the national animal of Scotland, because I haven't seen one. How many fucking unicorns have you seen?
There's one upstairs.
There isn't.
He is a unicorn.
The national animal of Scotland is the bagpipes. Right.
What would be the group plural noun for haggis? Haggai?
Yeah. A bowl of haggai.
Why a bowl? They're
Well, because
small.
you have to have a collective noun, don't you? A bowl of haggai is what you would. Like a murder of crows, a bowl of haggai.
A parliament of owls.
Yeah.
Tower of giraffes.
Right. Look how busy chat is right now. Even though you didn't do my goal, I've shut my goal down now. There you go. Hagoose. That's a great one.
The stats on pass percentage isn't the entire year 11 cohort. They pick and choose to get over the pass rate to look better. Oh, see.
I'm so tired, team. You made me
Some
work hard
kids
tonight.
might not be included, for example. Oh. I reckon Jim Jam is going to be an apprentice kind of kid versus a college kind of kid. Or university, I mean. I think he'll do his home ed, and then I reckon he'll go straight in. Because I think he'll have the itch for earning money versus getting into further debt and studying.
Good, then you can stop paying some fucking rent.
Actually, I don't know if either of them will necessarily be further academics. I think they'll both be workforce.
I hated college.
Yeah, I think I loved it because it was a bit of a bird course for me, but I already had a job, so I didn't. That whole 5-year period at college, what on earth was I doing? Because I got student debt for what?
I hated college. Hated it. And which is funny because when I joined the army and did my basic aircraft course, a lot of that was classroom based, but I was earning money at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't feel like, you know what I mean? Dave, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. He says, I will finish you off. What a legend. He finished me off.
No.
What a hero. I feel we're £57 and 2 pence away from hitting the super chat goal.
It's a nice round number, that
if
one.
anyone wants to go on to, if you click on the little $ and type in £57 and 2 pence, I'd be grateful. Definitely need more apprenticeships. Everyone and their mum can get a degree these days. 100%.
Oh, wow. My boy has an apprenticeship from Home Ed and Gardening. That's amazing.
Well, if they're very lucky and they work fucking hard, fingers crossed, we'll have a semi-successful YouTube channel still running and fingers crossed a successful hobby store running, and they'll have opportunities to learn about business and stuff.
Yeah.
But they'll need to earn it.
Yeah, definitely. I have warned James, you are an arsehole to work for. I have warned him.
What do you mean?
So there's like... He's kind of expressed an interest for doing the production side. He doesn't want to go in front of camera. He'd rather do the deck.
Yeah.
Which completely makes sense. He's very techie. And he said, actually, if there is the spend there for a member of staff, he'd like to be taken on in Hobby House / Liam Dempsey Media. And I was like, I warn you now, Dad's a knobhead to work for. And he was like, okay.
£57 and 2 pence. Did I do it right?
No. Soups. No. But thank you for trying, sir. I appreciate the extra 2. Although weirdly, it's gone up to £44.96 now, so it's lost 2 pence of your super chat somewhere, which is not fun, is it? I did an apprenticeship and work paid for my degree while they paid me as well, so very lucky.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. When I did my aircraft course, I was being paid. Granted, it wasn't a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but compared to what I was used to being paid, it was a lot. And because I was doing a course for my basics course in Reading, I was in accommodation that was paid for. I had my food already paid for, so I had heating, electricity paid for. So all I had to do, every penny that I earned was spending money. Every penny I earned was spending money because you had the cookhouse, 3 meals a day, you had your accommodation, you had your heating, your water, everything covered because you're on barracks. So at that point, it's a lot of money. It's all disposable. Like nothing needs to be saved for a bill or a fucking tax bill. Nothing has to be saved for that shit. You're just like, money in, I can spend all of this. And the other fucking great thing about that was, sorry, a little addendum. The other thing that was great about that was, is if you got paid on fucking Friday and you were skint on Sunday because you have millionaires weekend out on town throwing fucking 10, 20 pound notes at hookers, right? You're like, but I've got accommodation and food and gas, electric and heating.
So there's no consequence to my poor spending
so
habits.
I can spend three and a half weeks of the 4-week month going, in the cookhouse and sat fucking wanking on my bed because there's nothing else to do. But it was fine because anyway, I would much rather that than because the other thing was I knew other people who were at university at the time. So Bron was at university in Portsmouth, right? And he is a little bit more sensible than some people, but I knew other people at university who would student loan comes in, which is significant, right? It's not a monthly amount. Is that right? Student loans doesn't come in monthly, is it? It comes in termly or something.
Yes. Well, you did when I was in college.
They'd have millionaires 2 weeks, and then have 4 weeks of just eating fucking noodles because they didn't have a cookhouse.
No.
Just eating fucking super noodles, and that was all they had. Because or they had to go and work whilst doing their studying, and I was like, all right. So everyone says uni life's fucking great, and I get it because I went to plenty of freshers weeks and had fun and parties and stuff. But I'm also like, yeah, but guess what? I'm not fucking racking up debt because that student loan that comes in once every term time, got to pay the fucker back, and I don't eat noodles. I still get 3 fucking meals a day, and on the big meal on dinner time, if you finished a whole plate of food and you were still hungry, do you know what you did? You went and got another one.
Yeah, I'm not sure the army really teaches you civvy street life lessons. Great in a war. You're trained up to the eyeballs for a war. Not so good on financial consequences if you have very bad spending habits.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It didn't teach me good money management, but I wasn't in debt.
Only because you had the cookhouse. Otherwise, you'd have to get into debt to feed yourself.
Finding out Brom has a degree scares me. So it should. I was minted out of everyone I'd gone to school with when I joined the army, was saving £1,000 a week, and with the bonus after first tour, got first car and Nike with cash. Great as a young lad. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I hated college though. Well, I loved college for the social aspect alone. But I started college going to all my lessons and doing all my lectures and all that kind of stuff like you're supposed to. I ended college by not going to fucking anything at all because I was like bar, cafe, beer, women, done. And then I remember my fucking mum being so fucking angry because I got my exam results. They basically all fails, and she was like, "Did you actually go to half these exams?" I was like, "No, I didn't." She's like, "Why not?" I was like, "Because I got my job. I've already got my place in the army. I didn't need any results at all. I'm going to be an aircraft technician. I didn't need any of this shit." And she's like, "What have I been paying for?" "Nothing. I've got my own job."
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
So, Anyway, right.
I remember my dad trying to ground me. Bless his cotton socks.
Bless his cotton.
And I was 17. And he was like, "You're grounded." And I went, "Don't think so, Dad. I've got work at the weekend, so I'm clearly going out, aren't I?"
Yeah. Yeah. I've got to go out.
Yeah.
I've got to go to work. And guess what? When I'm out, I might just not come home straight away.
And I work in a restaurant, so I won't be home.
Yeah.
At curfew, I won't be. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice try, but...
I was hoping we get the £55 and 4 pence, but it's not happened, babe. All right. So...
I think it's a nice round number.
I'm tired now. I've done this. I want to go to bed. So we're going to say goodnight. You people are incredible. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you so much for hitting membership goal. Big shout out to Dave WK, who got us over the line. And a huge shout out, if he's still around, to Matt O'Reilly, who gifted 41 members today. What a legend. Thank you so
Whilst
much.
maybe he's concussed. That's probably.
Well, I just don't want anyone to remind him when he's better. Thank you, Rob Paul, for the one. It's less now. It's less. It's £54.04. You know? Anyway, tomorrow we are back with a normal Liam and Joe show and a live game of 40k in the evening. It's Joe versus Paddy. Paddy's doing a double this week because I scheduled Bronwyn 2 nights and forgot that he's only allowed to do one. Otherwise he gets told off. So he is not available tomorrow night because he doesn't have enough time to wipe the thumbprint off his head. So, what?
His wife is very, very, very pregnant.
Yeah, right.
So she needs help.
So what did they tell us when we were there on Friday? What time did she go to bed?
But she might need him, even though
When
she's
she's
in
asleep?
bed. You don't know. You don't know.
So he can't do tomorrow night, so it's going to be me, Paddy, and Joe in the evening. Then on Friday, there's a slight change. If you are one of the usual people that hangs around with us on 40k After Dark, we're going back to the old days. It's mad that this used to be a thing, by the way.
No.
We're going back to the old days. So on Friday, it is likely that After Dark will be at 9:30, which is when we always used to stream.
I know.
Because we are hosting the Thanes in a restaurant in Southampton in the evening time. And because the month has been so incredibly disastrous, I can't afford to not stream. Thank you, Edward. So basically tomorrow, if we get like 400 members tomorrow, we can afford to not stream on Friday, and then we can spend more time with the Thanes.
I think chat would miss us.
They would, but they would. But thank you, Edward, for the one. But we'll go back to the old days, 9:30, and it's funny because like we used to do 9:30 all of the stream nights apart from games, and finish at 11.
I'm gonna get to 10:30. I'll get an hour into that one, and I'll be there going, "Oh my god, I can't stay awake."
Yeah, you'll be fucked.
I'll have to, like,
and
sellotape
not
my
forgetting
eyes
that'll be
open.
after we've been to an all-you-can-eat buffet. So it's going to be an hour and a half of. That's what it's going to be for an hour and a half. It's going to be horrendous. Anyway, yeah, that's everything. So we'll see you tomorrow for the Liam and Joe show at 1:30. We're going to get Joe's thoughts on the updated Demons data sheet. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out the Demonic Pack section of that. And then on tomorrow evening, I don't know what the factions are yet. Paddy and Joe were discussing the factions as I logged off of Discord earlier. So who knows? I'll find out tomorrow. I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. I'm ready to eat a little bit of food, go to bed, and I think that's yeah. Anything from you, Lise? I thought I'd ask mid-yawn.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a cup of tea. I think.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say to the people?
Best chat.
Best chat. Get to £50 in £1. I'd love it. It's not going to happen. And I don't have the time. I'm tired. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. You are the best chat. We'll see you in the next one.